So this is just an energy update. This, I don't know about you guys, but I can feel that 16-year cycle leaving, and I could feel it maybe the past couple weeks. It's starting to like kind of crack off and fall away. This is amazing. I haven't felt like myself since I was probably 38 years old. And man, I'm 53 now, and I don't know if the math is right, but I know it's been about 16 years that I felt like myself. And I am feeling like the past couple weeks myself coming back, if that makes sense, in like on steroids. Like it's very strange. I'm just chilling with you guys, just doing an energy update because I can. Tonight's the full moon, so it's a super moon, and I'm sure that has an empowering effect on, you know, everything that's happening. It's going to expand. Full moons are all about like the culmination of everything that's been going on. New moons, we you know, 2 weeks earlier we work on new stuff, new you know, things, out with the old and with the new, and then do a lot of manifesting. And then full moon is like, you know, the actualization of a lot of things, and that's tonight, and then that'll run for another 3 days. We do have Mercury retrograde November 27th, 8th, 9th, somewhere at the end of this month, and somewhere around Thanksgiving. And we are in the pre-shadow phase. So the message I got this morning, excuse me, when I went to leave tonight, the message I got was slow down, because the energy felt very chaotic for a minute, and I felt very like, of course I'm an empath, so I take in lots of stuff from lots of people and clients and on my channel and all this, you know, and there's lots of stuff that goes on that you guys have questions, and I'll end up with an answer and not know who it's for, but all of a sudden it's like, you know. But I went to leave the house and things felt very chaotic, and I have, you know, my parents are on the higher side, and Christ, and, you know, all them, and I had them all around me tonight when I left, and they were like, breathe, slow down. It's like time is on your side, which is nice to hear, because when I multitask, of course I rescue, and I do, you know, lots of things, but I try to not rush. That's one of the things. Whenever I feel overly rushed, or if people are rushing me, like, you know, IRL kind of thing, or it's different situations, that's the only time I start to get like anxious and feel like I'm going too fast for my soul, if that makes sense. I feel like I go too fast for my own alignment, and tonight was more of slow down, slow everything down. And that can be part of Mercury retrograde too. So that's just a message like, walk, what is it I usually say? Walk, talk, drive slower, okay? Slow down, be in alignment with your soul, okay? And breathe. There was a lot of messages like breathe. When I stopped and kind of grounded, you know, I have a lot of people waiting on me, and I get very like, I hate to make anything or anybody wait, so it's a pet peeve. But lately, especially this week, I took this week off to recalibrate, because I knew there were big changes that we were shifting, like huge shifts. God always does that with me. Take a vacation now. Next week, I'm like, okay. You know, sounds good to me. And it always just works out. It always just works out. It ends up being like a slow week where, you know, it just happens to, you know, it's not one of the back-to-back where I have to reschedule many, and man, to recalibrate. But this week has been incredible. I actually have someone that helps me with energy. Thank you, by the way. You know who you are. And yeah, I started paying her because that's so valuable to me. No idea how the difference it made this week. But so if you have energy therapists, I'm going to pause this because there's some sirens going by. Holy shit, 3 cop cars just went by. I think on the way to Walmart or something. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, side note. ADHD. The energy, to me, it just keeps going back to be a stabilizing force, and like walk stabilized, grounded, you know, in the flow, in the quantum flow. Like I heard a little while ago, okay, you're in the quantum flow, which like the quantum field, which is just feels really good and really positive. And I had to shift that though when I left the house, like intentionally had to shift it, because I was pissy and cranky and rushed, and, you know, everything's like, hurry up, you know. And they were like, time out. That's why I do a lot of Gen X timeouts, where I look at the camera and I'm like, time out. time out with me for a few seconds. I actually do these things. I take a lot of breaks, like decompression breaks, like grounding breaks, where it's like, be where you are, stand in the gap, okay, not in the past, not in the future. But some interesting things are coming up energetically too, as far as like the past. I haven't remembered things that, and we knew this was going to happen. It's like, as your old self is leaving, the old, different types of injuries and traumas and all that stuff has been trying to leave for a long time, but you're keeping the good stuff. And the interesting thing was, a little while ago, I remembered all these things that I did as a teenager, like the names of things that I haven't thought about, 40 years. It's been a long time, like 40, like 40, or, a long time. I used to be in a figure skating club, and I remember the name of it. And like, I was young, but man, I was in love with figure skating. Figure skating especially was a big one. And there was a jacket that I had that had the thing on it, and like your name on it, and it had like this cute, sailor flap, which I ended up being a sailor in life, like in the Navy, but but it had this like cute little, and someone had thrown it out in I moved out, and then someone in my family had a yard sale and got rid of every sentimental thing I had, soccer trophies and all kinds of things I loved, things that were important to me. But people get remarried, and the step doesn't care about your shit. So sorry, TMI. But things like I was in modeling school, and I was taken to, I went to Boston one time for my birthday to Ford Modeling Agency, and I was gonna try it for like the elite, modeling group in Boston, and there's a whole story behind that, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I don't know if that would have been a good direction. I'm sure God protected me from some stuff. I was actually in modeling school at the time for years, and became like a professional model, but it's fun. It was fun to me. I'm tall, and I hated my height. This is a total side note, like, who gives a shit, right? But just to kind of purge this stuff to somebody. But I hated my height, and I said, if I can make money off of my height, then that would be great. And I did that. I graduated and made money off of being tall, which was nice. They put me in all these bridal shows because I was the tallest, and and it was fun. I had a very different perspective because I'm like hippie, down to earth, I couldn't get caught up in all the trivial anyway. But it was just and then dancing school, and I was in a dance company, and I'm just having all these memories of like, oh my God, I remember the names of all these places, and it's like all these good things are coming up that were fun to me. Like, I can't be a snob. I came from a rich town. I just don't have that thing. I'm too, my sense of humor is like, I don't take a lot of shit seriously. But it's so strange to remember all the names of these things, and good things. It's like pulling good things from the past, good experiences. Like, I was in soccer, and we were in All-Stars, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot all these things, that accomplishments. Not, I'm super cool, no. It's accomplishments that I enjoyed so much, and it's so weird to have that stuff all come up in my memory tonight. Just and all these old songs came on that, I was like, what the heck? This is awesome. Like, good feelings. Like, I actually did stuff. I haven't always been in t-shirts, and I was in the Navy in intelligence, and there's just things where it's like, you haven't always been tired. I got over like 13 years of Lyme disease, so a few years ago. These 16 years have been just tough, man, brutal in so many ways. I lost everything, everybody, like my different family members, just a lot. It's been a lot. Animals, but not to go there. So all these good things from your past, this feels like the vibration of, take that stuff. You did stuff. Remember, go back before the shit, right? Like my mom says in the higher side, you go, and God says, go back before the stuff. Remember the good stuff. Remember who you are. I haven't felt like who I am in 16 years. So it feels like that whatever is cracking, that old shitty, gross energy is cracking off. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel like me. So that's the vibration I'm feeling right now. So love you.